What if true peace wasn't about trying harder, but about letting go? Have you ever felt like you're constantly chasing after peace and happiness, only to find them slipping further away? You're not alone. Many of us believe that if we just put in more effort, work harder, or control our lives more tightly, we'll finally achieve the peace we're looking for. But what if this approach is actually keeping us from the very thing we want? In this video, we're going to explore a powerful concept that could change the way you approach life: the release of effort. This idea suggests that the key to finding peace isn't in doing more, but in doing less. It's about letting go of the constant struggle and allowing things to be as they are. Let's start by looking at the struggle cycle many of us find ourselves in. We often think that peace is something we have to earn or achieve through hard work. We push ourselves harder, set more goals, and try to control every aspect of our lives. We believe that if we can just get everything perfect, then we'll feel at peace. But this approach usually backfires. The more we try to force peace, the more it eludes us. We end up feeling stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed. It's like trying to catch a butterfly. The harder we chase it, the faster it flies away. This constant effort creates tension in our minds and bodies, making it impossible to relax and find the peace we're looking for. So what exactly is the release of effort? It's the practice of consciously letting go of our need to control and manipulate our experiences. It's about recognizing that sometimes the best thing we can do is nothing at all. This doesn't mean giving up or being lazy. Instead, it's about finding a balance between action and acceptance. The release of effort is based on the understanding that much of our stress and unhappiness comes from resisting what is. We fight against our current reality, always wishing things were different. But this resistance creates inner turmoil and prevents us from experiencing peace in the present moment. By releasing effort, we're not saying that we should never take action or work towards our goals. Rather, we're learning to differentiate between productive effort and unnecessary struggle. We're letting go of the constant need to fix everything and learning to trust in the natural flow of life. One of the biggest paradoxes we face is trying to relax. Have you ever noticed how difficult it can be to fall asleep when you're trying really hard to do so? The same principle applies to finding peace. The more we try to force ourselves to be calm and peaceful, the more tense and agitated we become. This is because trying inherently involves effort and tension. When we try to relax, we're actually creating more stress in our minds and bodies. It's like telling someone, "Don't think about a pink elephant." The very act of trying not to think about it makes you think about it even more. The power lies in allowing instead of forcing. When we allow ourselves to be as we are, without judgment or the need to change anything, we create space for natural relaxation to occur. It's like floating in water. The moment we stop struggling and trust that the water will hold us up, we float effortlessly. This principle extends beyond just relaxation. In many areas of life, we often achieve better results when we stop trying so hard. Think about times when you've been stuck on a problem, only to have the solution pop into your mind when you stop focusing on it. Or how your best ideas often come when you're not actively trying to be creative. The release of effort allows us to tap into a different kind of intelligence, one that's not based on force or control, but on intuition and flow. It's about trusting in the natural wisdom of our minds and bodies, rather than constantly trying to override them with our will. How can you tell if you're holding on too tight? There are several signs that you might be exerting too much effort in your daily life. One common indicator is constant tension in your body. You might notice that your shoulders are always hunched, your jaw is clenched, or you have frequent headaches or back pain. These physical symptoms are often a result of carrying around unnecessary mental and emotional stress. Another sign is a busy, overactive mind. If you find that your thoughts are constantly racing, jumping from one worry to the next, it's a good indication that you're holding on too tightly. You might have trouble falling asleep at night because you can't turn off your mind, or you might find it difficult to focus on the present moment because you're always planning or worrying about the future. Perfectionism is another common manifestation of excess effort. If you find yourself constantly striving for perfection in everything you do, never satisfied with your results, it's a sign that you're putting in more effort than necessary. This perfectionism can lead to procrastination, as the fear of not doing something perfectly can prevent you from starting at all. Difficulty in making decisions is also a sign of holding on too tight. When we're exerting too much effort, we often overthink every decision, weighing every possible outcome and consequence. This can lead to decision paralysis, where we're unable to make even simple choices without agonizing over them. Lastly, a constant feeling of being rushed or behind schedule is a clear indicator of excess effort. If you always feel like you're racing against time, never able to catch up, it's a sign that you're pushing yourself too hard. These signs of excess effort can have a significant impact on our well-being. They create a constant state of stress and anxiety, which can lead to physical health problems, emotional burnout, and a decreased quality of life. By recognizing these signs, we can start to become aware of where we're exerting unnecessary effort and begin to practice letting go. To understand why the release of effort is so powerful, it's helpful to look at the science behind letting go. When we're in a state of constant effort and struggle, our bodies are in a perpetual stress response. This activates our sympathetic nervous system, often referred to as the fight or flight system. In this state, our bodies release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. While these hormones are helpful in short-term stressful situations, chronic activation of the stress response can lead to a host of health problems. These include high blood pressure, weakened immune system, digestive issues, and increased risk of anxiety and depression. On the other hand, when we release effort and allow ourselves to relax, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, sometimes called the rest and digest system. This state promotes relaxation, healing, and regeneration in the body. It lowers heart rate and blood pressure, improves digestion, and boosts the immune system. The release of effort also has profound effects on our brain. Chronic stress and effort can actually change the structure and function of our brains over time. It can lead to a decrease in gray matter in areas associated with emotional regulation and self-control, and an increase in activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center. Conversely, practices that involve letting go and relaxation have been shown to increase gray matter in areas associated with learning, memory, and emotional regulation. They also decrease activity in the default mode network, a brain network associated with mind-wandering and self-referential thoughts. This can lead to improved focus, better emotional regulation, and a greater sense of well-being. Moreover, the release of effort can lead to increased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for higher-level thinking and decision-making. This means that by letting go, we're actually improving our ability to think clearly and make good decisions. Understanding the science behind letting go can help motivate us to practice the release of effort. It shows us that this isn't just a nice idea or a spiritual concept, but a scientifically validated approach to improving our mental and physical health. Now that we understand the importance of releasing effort, let's look at some practical steps we can take to practice this in our daily lives. Remember, the goal isn't to never exert effort, but to learn when effort is necessary and when it's creating unnecessary tension. One simple technique is to practice mindful breathing. Take a few moments throughout your day to focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of the air moving in and out of your body. As you do this, consciously relax any tension you're holding in your body. This simple practice can help you become more aware of when you're holding on too tightly and give you a tool to release that tension. Another powerful practice is body scanning. Start at the top of your head and slowly move your attention down through your body, noticing any areas of tension or discomfort. As you notice these areas, imagine breathing into them and allowing them to soften and relax. This practice not only helps you release physical tension, but also makes you more aware of how you're holding stress in your body. Practicing acceptance is another key aspect of releasing effort. When you find yourself resisting a situation or feeling, try saying to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way," or "I accept this situation as it is." This doesn't mean you have to like the situation or that you can't take action to change it. It simply means you're not wasting energy fighting against reality. Letting go of perfectionism is crucial in releasing effort. Start by setting realistic expectations for yourself and others. Recognize that mistakes and imperfections are a natural part of life and can often lead to growth and learning. When you catch yourself striving for perfection, remind yourself that good enough is often truly good enough. Practice saying no more often. Many of us overextend ourselves, taking on more responsibilities than we can comfortably handle. Learning to say no to things that aren't essential or aligned with your values can significantly reduce unnecessary effort in your life. Incorporate regular relaxation practices into your routine. This could be meditation, yoga, Tai Chi, or any activity that helps you unwind and let go. The key is to approach these practices not as another task to accomplish, but as an opportunity to release effort and simply be. Lastly, practice trusting in the process of life. Often, our excessive effort comes from a place of fear or lack of trust. We worry that if we don't control everything, things will fall apart. But in reality, many things in life unfold naturally without our constant intervention. Learning to trust in this process can help us let go of unnecessary effort. As you start to practice releasing effort, you may encounter some common obstacles. One of the biggest is fear. We often hold on tightly because we're afraid of what might happen if we let go. We worry that we'll become lazy, that we'll fail, or that things will spiral out of control. To overcome this fear, start by recognizing it for what it is, just a thought, not a reality. Remember that releasing effort doesn't mean giving up responsibility or not taking action when it's needed. It simply means letting go of unnecessary struggle and trusting in your ability to handle whatever comes. Another common obstacle is the belief that constant effort is necessary for success. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that the harder we work, the more we'll achieve. While effort is certainly important, it's equally important to know when to step back and allow things to unfold. To shift this belief, start noticing areas in your life where things have worked out well with less effort. Maybe you've had experiences where a solution came to you when you stopped trying so hard, or where a relationship improved when you stopped pushing. Use these experiences as evidence that releasing effort can be beneficial. Impatience can also be a significant obstacle. We want results now, and it can be frustrating to feel like we're not making progress. Remember that the practice of releasing effort is a skill that develops over time. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories along the way. Lastly, our own habits and patterns can be obstacles. We may be so used to exerting effort that it feels uncomfortable or even wrong to let go. This is where consistent practice comes in. The more you practice releasing effort, the more natural it will become. As you start to incorporate the practice of releasing effort into your life, you'll likely notice a ripple effect that extends far beyond your personal experience. One of the most significant areas where this can be felt is in your relationships. When we're constantly exerting effort and trying to control outcomes, it can create tension in our interactions with others. We might become overly critical, impatient, or controlling. By learning to release effort, we become more relaxed and accepting in our relationships. This can lead to improved communication, deeper connections, and a greater sense of harmony with those around us. In our work lives, the release of effort can lead to increased productivity and creativity. This might seem counterintuitive, surely working harder leads to better results. But often, our best ideas and most efficient work come when we're in a state of flow, not when we're pushing ourselves to the limit. By releasing unnecessary effort, we create space for inspiration and intuition to guide our work. The practice of releasing effort can also have a profound impact on our personal growth. When we're not constantly struggling against ourselves and our circumstances, we have more energy and clarity to focus on what truly matters to us. We become more attuned to our inner wisdom and more aligned with our authentic selves. This ripple effect can extend even further, influencing our communities and the world around us. As we become more peaceful and accepting, we naturally spread this energy to those around us. Our actions become more aligned with our values, and we're better able to contribute positively to our communities. As we continue to practice the release of effort, we begin to develop a new perspective on life. Instead of seeing life as a constant struggle or a series of problems to be solved, we start to see it as a flow to be experienced. This shift from struggle to flow is at the heart of living with ease. Living with ease doesn't mean that life becomes effortless or that challenges disappear. Rather, it means that we approach life's ups and downs with a sense of equanimity and trust. We learn to dance with life rather than fight against it. This new perspective allows us to find peace in the present moment, rather than always chasing after some future state of happiness. We begin to appreciate the richness of our current experience, even when it's not exactly what we thought we wanted. From this place of ease, we're better able to respond to life's challenges with clarity and wisdom. Instead of reacting out of stress or fear, we can pause, release unnecessary tension, and choose our response consciously. Living with ease also means letting go of the need to always be doing something. We learn to value being as much as doing. This balance allows us to be more present in our lives, more connected to ourselves and others, and more able to appreciate the simple joys of existence. As we come to the end of this exploration of the release of effort, let's recap the key points we've covered. We started by recognizing the struggle cycle many of us find ourselves in, constantly chasing peace through more effort. We then introduced the concept of releasing effort as an alternative approach. We explored the paradox of trying to relax and the power of allowing instead of forcing. We looked at common signs that indicate we're holding on too tightly and the impact this has on our well-being. We delved into the science behind letting go, understanding how it affects our bodies and minds. We discussed practical steps to release effort in our daily lives, from mindful breathing to practicing acceptance. We addressed common obstacles that might arise and strategies to overcome them. We explored the ripple effect of releasing effort, seeing how it can positively impact our relationships, work, and personal growth. Finally, we looked at how this practice can lead to a new perspective, living with ease and finding peace in the present moment. Remember, the release of effort is not about becoming passive or giving up on your goals. It's about finding a balance between action and acceptance, between doing and being. It's about recognizing when effort is needed and when it's creating unnecessary struggle. As you move forward from here, I encourage you to start incorporating these ideas into your daily life. Begin to notice where you might be holding on too tightly or exerting unnecessary effort. Practice releasing this effort, even if just for a few moments at a time. Be patient with yourself as you learn this new way of being. Like any skill, it takes time and practice to master. Celebrate the moments when you're able to let go, and be gentle with yourself when you find it challenging. Remember that this is a journey, not a destination. There's no perfect state of effortlessly to achieve. Instead, it's about continually coming back to this practice of releasing, again and again. As you continue on this path, you may find that life becomes easier, more joyful, and more peaceful. You may discover a sense of freedom and lightness that comes from no longer struggling against reality. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the release of effort. I hope you found it valuable and that it inspires you to bring more ease and peace into your life. Remember, true peace isn't about trying harder, it's about letting go. If you found this video helpful, please consider sharing it with others who might benefit from these ideas. And I'd love to hear about your experiences with releasing effort. What challenges have you faced? What benefits have you noticed? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For those who want to dive deeper into this topic, there are many resources available. Books on mindfulness, acceptance, and letting go can provide further insights and practices. Meditation apps and guided relaxation exercises can be helpful tools for practicing the release of effort. Remember, the power to find peace is already within you. It's not something you need to chase after or achieve. It's simply a matter of letting go and allowing it to emerge naturally. May you find ease and peace in your journey of releasing effort.